Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. O most magnificent incarnation, you are Krishna himself appearing as Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You have assumed the golden color of Srimati Radharani and you are widely distributing pure love of Krishna. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you. कृष्णवर्णं त्विषा कृष्णं साङ्गपाङ्गष्टपार्षदं यज्ञैः सङ्कीर्तनप्राये यजन्ति हि सुमेधसः. In the age of Kali, intelligent persons perform congregational chanting to worship the incarnation of Godhead, who constantly sings the names of Krishna. Although his complexion is not blackish, he is Krishna himself. He is accompanied by his associates, servants, weapons, and confidential companions. नानाशास्त्रविचारणैकनपुनो षडधर्मसंस्थापकौ लोकानामहितकारिणो त्रिभुवने मान्यौ शरण्याकरौ राधाकृष्णपदारविन्दभजना नन्देन मत्तालिकौ वन्दे रूपसनातनौ रघुयुगौ Sri Jiva Gopalakau. I offer my respectful obeisances to the six Goswamis of Vrindavan, Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatana Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Jiva Gopal, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who are expert in scrutinizingly studying all the revealed scriptures with the aim of establishing eternal religious principles for the benefit of all living beings. Thus they are honored all over the three worlds and are worth taking shelter because they are observed in the mood of the gopis and are engaged in the transcendental loving service of Sri Radha and Sri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhatreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevayam Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Prabhupada. So, let us start with a recap of yesterday's class. I'll share the screen. Hare Krishna. So, yesterday we did lesson 88. And in this, it's chapter 52, wherein Rukmani sends a letter to Lord Krishna through a Brahmana, and she asks Lord Krishna to kidnap her because she didn't want to get married to Shishupala. So this chapter is again divided into three themes. In the first theme, we say that after King Muchukanda has been delivered by Lord Krishna, we see the heroic deeds of the two lords, Krishna and Balram, and their divinity is expressed through their actions, although they are doing a human behavior. So we'll see this in the 14 verses. Then we see Rukmini's plan, who is planning to get Rukmini married to Shishupala, and Rukmini doesn't want to get married to Shishupala, and that's why she sends a letter to Lord Krishna. Then we'll see the philosophical significance of Rukmini's letter that she sent to Lord Krishna. This is covered in the last verses of this particular chapter. So here, Once Lord Krishna blessed King Muchukunda that he will get his devotional service, eternal devotional service. So now King Muchukunda, he departs. What does King Muchukunda departure symbolize? Anybody would want to answer? King Muchukunda's departure symbolizes?
The arrival of Kali Yuga.
Correct. The arrival of Kali Yuga. Thank you, Mataji.
What
Then
are the signs of Kali Yuga? What are the signs of Kali Yuga that's mentioned here?
Yeah. In which state he then comes to, and where does he go?
Yeah, after he sees that Kali Yuga shows all the peoples are dwarf, like Satya Yuga, right? People used to have all tall bodies and all those things. He says the human, animal, trees, plants were smaller than he has seen before he went to sleep. So that is one part. And after seeing the Lord, and then he goes to Badrikashram. That is what is that? Devbhumi?
Gandhamadana Mountain.
Gandhamadana Mountain, yeah.
Yeah. Where Lord Narayana resides.
Rishi is residing, yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. So after reaching Badrikashrama, that is the Gandhamadana mountain, what does he do? Would you like to continue, Radha Vinod Prabhuji? What does he do over there?
Yeah. So that place is an austere place where Narayan Rishi is living there. And, as he had a conversation with the Lord, and he was anyway detached from the material world. So he continues the detachment from all material association and began worshipping the Lord. That is
Yes.
really a most austere place. I had been there last year. Beautiful place there.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So now let's go to the second point over here. What is Manusya Cheshtam Apanav? What does this mean? Manushya Cheshtam Apanav.
It's a human-like fear
Correct.
when it faces danger.
Correct. Correct.
So Krishna is acting that way, but it's basically he's pretending. He's a Supreme Lord. He doesn't need to fear anyone. He doesn't fear anyone. But he just pretends because he's doing all his Nara Leela,
Yeah.
Typically human pastimes that he depicts,
Then what is Jarasanga? Then what did Jarasanga do foolishly and why?
Yeah, I'll continue. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Prabhuji, go.
Okay, Radha Vinod Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay. So the story goes again. Krishna, he comes, defeats Kalevan's army, and then he collects a lot of gold and all ornaments. That was a lying, and he was about to go, and he sees that Jarasandha there, and Krishna leaves everything and pretend to be again. Acharya says he runs and he was following. So Jarasandha did not understand. Lord doesn't leave, right? Because who defeated him 70 times, how he'll go? So that he was in the mood of demon anyway, demonic mood. So he doesn't understand that divinity.
Correct. So Jarasanga was foolishly pursuing Lord Krishna because he was not aware of Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram's divinity. Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. So what did then Jarasanga do, and what did the two lords do? After he foolishly pursued them, what did he then do when he did not find them on the mountain?
Jarasandha set the mountain on fire.
Correct. Yes.
The two boys, Krishna and Balaram, jumped from the mountain, which was 88 miles high.
Yeah. They jumped from the mountain 88 miles high. Okay. So he set the whole mountain on fire. And why did the two lords Okay, 1 second. Give me 1 second. What name did Lord Krishna get for running away from the battle? And what
Hare
does it
Krishna.
signify?
Ranchod.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Rana Choda Mataji.
Ranchod.
Rana
Ranachod.
Choda.
And what does that signify?
Complexity of Lord's pastime.
Correct. Complexities of Lord pastime as a ordinary human act,
Human act.
as is human leela. Thank you, Mataji. Then what did Jarasanga do and why?
No, he was thinking that like he assumed that Balarama and Krishna had burned him.
Yeah,
Okay.
he assumed
To
that they
death in
got
the-
burned to death.
So then
Okay.
he withdrew his army.
He went away with his army
He went away from his
to Magad. He returned to Magad.
Magad.
And
Yeah.
where did the two lords they go then?
They
Dwarka.
went to Dwarka.
They
Dwarka.
went to Dwarka.
Correct. Thank you so much. So let us proceed to the slide 6. What is the hallmark of Krishna's character?
Krishna has duality in his character.
Yeah,
He has the divine characteristics as well as human qualities.
correct. He is divine, but he is
He,
posing human qualities.
yeah,
So, like how he fled from the battlefield, that he was showing human qualities, but actually he is omnipresent and omnipotent and omniscience. Thank you, Mataji, Rajkumari Mataji. So we proceed to slide 7. What was King Bhishmaka? Who was King Bhishmaka, and who are his family members?
King Bhishmaka was the father of Rukmani and
Yes, ma'am.
ruler of Vidarbha. He had 5 sons and 1 daughter, Rukmani. Rukmi was the elder son.
Thank you, Mataji. Then why was King Bhishmaka helpless?
King Bhishma was fearful of Rukmi.
Because of Rukmi. Why?
Because he wanted to marry his sister with Shishupal.
Yeah. But King Bhishmaka did not want that. He wanted Rukmini to get married to Krishna, but he was helpless because of Rukmi. Yes. So the second point, what was Rukmini's desire and why? Did she also want to get married to Shishupal?
No, she wanted to
No.
marry Krishna
She wanted to marry Krishna. That was her desire. And why? Why she wanted to get married to Krishna?
because of his beauty and valor. The visitors which always used to praise, they used to
Yeah.
praise him, about him.
Unparalleled beauty and character of Lord Krishna. Had she seen Krishna before? How did she know about Krishna?
From
She
the
knew-
visitors who
Oh,
came
yes.
to.
She used to hear about his deeds from the visitors who would come. So this was Rukmini's Purva Raga. Okay. So
What is Purva
Then-
Raga? What is Purva Raga?
knowing a
Okay.
person by hearing about him.
Before
No,
meeting,
before-
physical meeting.
before
Before
meeting.
meeting.
Before physical meeting.
So you develop an attachment. Raga means attachment. You heard so much glories of Lord Krishna, so you developed that kind of attachment, and you wanted to, see him, meet him like that. Here, Rukmini wanted to marry, who couldn't be the, no one else could be the better husband than Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji. Then what did Rukmini decide to do? Finally.
Rukmani wrote a letter and sent through trustworthy Brahmana that saying that Krishna, I want to marry you, and you kidnap me and marry with me. And she explained that if you do not, I explained the qualities of Krishna, beauty as well as divine qualities, and told that if you do not marry, I will die.
Yeah, we'll come to that, Mataji. Thank you so much. So, Rukmini decided to take a proactive step and asked Krishna to intervene. Yes? All right. So, let us go to slide 9. Who gets married to Krishna? Who gets married before Lord Krishna and Rukmini? And what does that serve?
Balram marriage to Revati, and that to prelude to Krishna's union with Rukmini.
Correct. Thank you, Mataji. That's a prelude to Krishna's and Rukmani's marriage. And actually, who is Rukmani Devi?
This is Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune.
Thank you, Mataji. So, what is Rakshasa marriage?
Kidnapping the girl and to marry with her.
Correct. Kidnapping the girl, forcefully abducting the bride. Thank you, Mataji.
So here
What
you know
was-
that it was Rukmini herself suggested that you kidnap,
Yes.
and I think she will go more. And then
Yeah.
what was her objective? What was her strategy? And all these things. I'm sure Samantha Mataji is planning those questions too.
Yeah. With the consent, kidnapping with the consent of the bride in this case.
So here
Yes, Prabhuji.
forcefully means it's forcefully in the presence of, against the presence of all the other kings, demoniac kings, very, very envious. Jarasandha, Shishupal, Salva, all these people had gathered together. And so he, in front of them, forcefully and very, elegantly, he kidnaps Rukmini, and thereby challenging them, their Kshatriya spirit.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Then why was Rukmi against the marriage of Lord Krishna and Rukmini? And what does this illustrate? Why was he against? Why was Rukmi against?
Because he
Yes.
wanted to his sister to get married to Shishupal.
Oh, correct. Because of his own ambitions.
Own
He had his
ambitions.
own
He was
ambition.
envious.
And what does this show, Mataji? What does his action show?
The reveals that he was a very conflicted desire to means he was against all his he was envious to everyone against
Yeah.
Krishna, and so he wanted to show
Yeah, and that one can go to
conflict.
any length just to
To
fulfill
assert
one's
any
desire.
length. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Harsha Mataji. So, what action did Rukmini take, and what does it signify? What did she do? This is here in the third portion.
She sent a Brahmana with her summon to
Yes.
ask Krishna to marry her or kidnap her and marry her.
Yes, Mataji. And what does this signify?
Her recognition that Krishna is her love, like she loves Krishna very much, and then true love transcends familial opposition and societal
And
norms. So
societal
she wasn't,
norms.
she didn't worry about what society will talk, and this and that. She just said, I know who Krishna is and I love him, and he's so and so, his qualities are so beautiful, and he's very beautiful, and he can only become my partner, life partner.
Yeah. So she took this very determined decision and decided to destroy Rukmi's plan. Thank you, Lalita Priya Mataji. Let's go to slide 10. What did Krishna receive? How did Krishna receive the Brahmana who got Rukmini's letter?
Krishna receives Brahman with respect and honoring dharma.
Yeah. Lord shows that the Brahmana who uphold Brahmana should be respected because they uphold dharma. Thank you, Mataji. Was Lord Krishna really calm when he was visited by the Brahmana? Was he really calm?
No, he was anxious about the marriage.
Yes, he was anxious.
Mm.
Inside, he was anxious about them. Thank you, Nityasakhi Mataji. Then, according to the Brahmana, what is the nature of a genuine Brahmana? They were discussing, sorry. What is the nature of a genuine Brahmana? It is mentioned over here.
Genuine Brahmana is he has a simple living and he doesn't seek any enjoyment without fulfillment.
Yes. Thank you, Asha Mataji. We go ahead. Describe Rukmini's letter. Can anyone describe Rukmini's letter? Prasad Prabhu, Lalita Priya Mataji, anybody would like?
The Brahmana, basically Rukmini's letter was full of, she plays double kind of mono acting. What if her prospective husband thinks about her like this and like that, and she asked the question on behalf of Krishna, assuming that Krishna, if he asks such a question, then how she has to respond to it. And she responds in that letter. So it's full of persuasive arguments that any intelligent woman, she says, would choose Krishna as a husband because he's extremely beautiful and his character is spotless. And she says everybody will be attracted to him. And that's why her choice for a partner is also Sri Krishna. And then she says that her life is actually depending on Krishna's, agreeing to marry her. And then she says that if Shishupal has to marry her, she would rather die. And then she actually expresses her love for him very openly in that letter.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mataji. You answered my rest 3 questions also. So we go ahead to the next slide. Okay. What was Rukmini's expectation from her previous pious actions? What did she expect from her past deeds?
If she has done a pious actions, then that actions will grant her the chance to marry Krishna.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, Mataji. And what she expressed very clearly, what did she mention very straightforwardly?
Yeah, Rukmini wanted, Krishna may say that he has to go inside where the Rukmini said there could be a blood shed killing other
No.
people. So,
What
no.
was she very clear about? It's
May I
mentioned over
answer?
here. Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
so that was
Prabhuji.
the ultimate that she wanted to either Krishna can marry, if not, she will give up the life and will try in the future, right? So her utmost desire only to marry, our determination to
Yes.
marry, that was there.
Yeah, utmost desire to marry Lord Krishna, and she wanted no one to interfere with
the union.
especially the powerful deities. She did not want any interference of the deities. Thank you, Prabhuji, so much. Then, what strategy was proposed by Rukmini to Lord Krishna and why?
She proposed to enter into the city unnoticed, Mataji, so that it will be completely will not be disrupted by without harming her family. That is what her thought process is. She want to avoid any fight or anything like that, Mataji.
Yeah. She asked him to come as a guest with his people so that nobody is aware of what he is planning to do. Thank you, Prasad Prabhuji. Then, how intense was Rukmini's determination to marry Lord Krishna? What was her resolve? I think Radha Vinod Prabhuji answered that, so I am not getting into it. It's like she didn't want to get married to Shishupal, and if it happens so, she would rather die. That was her determination.
But
So-
before that, you're missing one very important point. Because her strategy was to prevent unnecessary bloodbath, She didn't
Yes.
want any of her family members to be killed in that conflict when Krishna would kidnap. So what she suggested, very, very brilliant idea. She said that's a family tradition. Before the wedding takes place, she would visit Mata Ambika's temple, which is far away from the main city and be relatively away from the public. So there Krishna can come and then he can kidnap her. So that was an important element of our strategy to prevent loss of our family members' lives.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. To minimize to minimize the harm, she suggested this
So
kind
that
of
was a
kidnapping.
very smart thing, brilliant thing on her part. Yeah,
Yeah,
she covered all the bases.
yeah. Reflects her intelligence.
And she was feeling little kind of guilt conscious, even being a woman. It might apparently, reflect that she's shameless, but she says she was in a very difficult situation. That was her last resort. So even she bypassed her womanly shame and all these things. She herself had to make an initiative to Krishna that please marry me. I have no other recourse.
Yeah. So her call was desperate but genuine.
Right.
Okay, so I would again would want to repeat this question because I think I missed a point. How intense was Rukmini's determination to marry Lord Krishna, and what does it reflect? So we have missed this point over here that she is willing to undergo all the austerities and penances in future lives if it is necessary for her to get married to Krishna. So she understands the divine and she expresses a desire to purify herself through devotion. So this is her intensity of her determination, that she is willing to undergo anything for Lord Krishna. Here it is a lesson for devotees also who are on the Bhakti platform, that we should be willing to go through all the adversities to serve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Then what did the Brahmana advise to Lord Krishna after reading Rukmini's letter? It's in this portion.
He advised to take immediate action
Immediate action.
as per Rukmini's plan.
Yes. Thank you, Mataji. And let us come to this part of this slide, important part. Why is devotee always in a win-win situation? Why is a devotee always in a win-win situation? Even if
even if he sings, it is a cause of his Lord or Lord Krishna. And even if he sings, it's just the same for Lord Krishna.
Yes. If he swims, he gets to serve the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. If he sings, he sings for the cause to reach to his beloved. So he's always in a win-win situation. Thank you, Harsha Mataji. So we go ahead. Slide 12. What does Rukmini's situation teach us? It's here. Destiny versus free will.
It is the example of tension between fate and the free will.
Yeah. There is a tension between fate and free will. So there will be constant disturbances and hindrances towards when we are trying to reach our goal. But one should exercise one's free will towards the right, towards the truth always. Whatever is there in the destiny, overruling that. Thank you, Mataji. Then what does Rukmini's deep attachment to Krishna demonstrate philosophically?
She says that her love is based not only on Krishna's beauty, but also in his divine qualities.
Yes.
And of the essence of his being.
Yeah. Correct. So it shows that true love, it recognizes deeper realities. It goes beyond the physical realm. Thank you, Asha Mataji. How does Rukmini show her devotion and surrender? This portion. I think I've covered that. That she's willing to take all the austerities and penances. So I'll go ahead with that.
Penance.
Yes, Mataji. What is the principle of bhakti? What is the principle of bhakti? It's mentioned over here.
Deep attachment, deep devotion to Lord, to divine, and these are desire to penance and austerities, and to have the desire to seek Krishna.
Yeah, basically
Deep
surrendering
desire.
oneself. Complete surrender.
Complete surrender.
Even
Yes,
if you
yes,
are
Mataji.
weak,
Yes.
even if you are vulnerable, whatever the situation is, you surrender yourself completely.
Completely.
That shows true devotion. That is the principle of bhakti. It is complete surrender. Thank you, Mataji. Then what does Rukmini's surrender to fate indicate? What does it indicate? She surrendered to Lord Krishna on the fate. What does that indicate?
Complete trust on the divine.
Yes. Complete trust. She trusted. Her faith did not dwindle. Thank you, Mataji.
No, actually,
What is
no, wait a minute. I think you got it not right. Your fate was decided by her brother Rukmi, right?
Yeah.
So she was not giving up. She knew she had no recourse. Her father was helpless. Rukmi was bent on marrying her to Shishupal against her wish. So that was the fate apparently forced upon her. But she resisted with her strong determination. And so she has this minute free will. So she took shelter of that free will in surrendering and then requesting, begging, pleading to Krishna to please come and save me. So she did not give up because the fate was against her wish, So that was a very important element. That's what I said on the right hand side of the slide. We must digest this understanding. So one should never give up. If you believe you're on the side of dharma, and you are, so the 4 pillars of dharma, what is that? Brahminical platform. What is that? Tapa, Saucham, Daya, Satyam, right? If you know that you are on that platform, then you can be sure that Krishna will protect you, and you surrender with full determination and fight against that unfair fate sort of pushed upon her. So she did not cowardly, she did not surrender blindly like that. So this is an important lesson for all of us. Many times in our own life, situation come and as if there is no other way but to surrender, So don't do that. If you know you're right, fight till the last minute and surrender to Krishna and plead her, and then you win the grace of the Lord and something will work out in your favor.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. You answered my next question so nicely, that we should not leave any stone unturned whatever is there in our hands, we should try level best.
No matter how overwhelming odds are against you, you fight for dharma and your faith in Krishna, his protection and his empowerment. So you have that free will. Every one of us have that free will. Don't ever forget. Go ahead, Mataji, continue.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So I proceed to the last slide. Slide 13. What is the nature of true love and what does it demand? And how is it shown by Rukmini? The nature of true love. Anyone? Nitya Sakhi Mataji, would you like to try? Radha
Yeah.
Vinod Prabhuji. Yeah, Mataji.
It signifies sacrifices and commitment.
Correct.
And she preferred that she would rather die and not belong to anyone else like Shishupal. And so with the philosophical questions about the nature of sacrifice in love, so it raises the idea that love may demand significant personal sacrifices many
Correct.
times, and illuminating how love can drive individuals to make profound commitments, often at the cost of personal interest or societal approval. Just now, Charuchandra Prabhuji has said. Yeah, very true.
So it demands significant personal sacrifice. That is the nature of true love. And Rukmini showed it. She was willing to die for it. She was willing to do all types of austerities and undergo all types of penances to get married to Krishna.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Mother,
Mataji.
even in mundane world, without pain, there's no gain, right?
Yeah.
So how do you expect spiritual? We want to get out of this, the whole birth after birth, like we are rotting into the material world. So definitely sacrifice, and Krishna makes it sure every example. Srila Prabhupada, all over, we see that everybody has gone through the personal sacrifice. It doesn't come just like that.
Yeah.
That is also lesson for all of us.
It's not easy.
Not.
Yesterday, Archana Mataji sent a post. Preaching is not an easy task. Very nice video of Srila Prabhupada. Okay, so let's proceed ahead. How can Rukmini's decision to pursue Krishna, how that can be seen morally and ethically? How can we see it through an ethical lens?
Yeah, I'll just go. So ethically, you are updating or going against the wishes of father. It's other social norms, but morally, she knew who is the right for her, and who can deny, like Krishna marrying. So that was the dilemma everybody goes through. But making a real, like Charu Prabhuji mentioned, if you are on the side of the dharma, then everything falls in its place. So that is a moral code she followed here.
Yeah.
And rejected is a familiar. But I have also one question, since we are little bit time. That was the tradition in those days. We see the Bhishma Pitama, a lot of people, they went and, picked up the marriageable girls, and that was there. It may not be right in this time now where we live, but it was the tradition at that time, right, Charu Prabhuji? So it was not uncommon in those days.
Yeah, but see, we see many situations, even in those times. Yeah. People like like Rukmini and others, they did fight. Look at the Rajagopis. Yes. Rajagopis, they defied all the societal norms. They were married to other gopas, but they knew who Krishna was. So they defied all these things for the sake of the Lord. When Krishna asked them to come in the middle of the night to meet him in the forest, they gave up everything because they knew it was not like a girl going to see her lover boy. That boy was no ordinary boy. So that they were aware of that. So even though those times were very, very highly conservative. Nonetheless, here is the lesson Krishna is teaching us, that you have a free will. And Bhishmadev, if you see in the first canto, 9th chapter, Bhishmadev's teachings, sometimes you do all this thing. Even then, you don't get what you want, that you believe that Krishna desires that way. And then what happens? There are three principles involved, that Bhishmadev's principles. First principle, that you follow sadhu, shastra, and guru, and do whatever you can. And then, even then, things don't work out. Then you accept, and then you say that might be the will of the Lord, that this is not my time, But only then, after you try everything possible within your power. Okay? Bhishmadev does say that if sadhu, shastra, guru, it's there, you follow that and everything, and still things don't work out the way you want it, then you accept the reality and consider that's the will of the Lord, But you don't leave any stone unturned. You don't give any chance that later on I didn't do it enough. Did I answer your point, Vinod Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Right, yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
There's a purport in the 9th canto, first canto, 9th chapter, I believe, if I'm not wrong. Go that and read that verse. Prabhupada's purport points out the Bhishmadev's teachings on that aspect of it.
One more.
Yes, Sharad Prabhuji, you might want to add something.
One more point, Prabhuji. In Dwapar Yuga, this was permitted only for the Kshatriyas, not for others.
Okay, yeah.
In other yugas, like in this Kali Yuga, this is not permitted. This Rakshasa marriage, and there is a difference between, there are two types of similar types of marriages in which the bride is also kidnapped. That is the Paisacha marriage. But the difference is, in the Rakshasa marriage, the boy and the girl, they agree to marry. The girl's parents, they also agree. But in case of Paisacha marriage, the girl doesn't agree, and there is no question of the family of the girls agreeing. So that is what is the difference. But these are not allowed in Kali Yuga.
And then what? There's a Gandharva Vivaha. You know what is Gandharva Vivaha? Krishna did that, right?
Yeah.
The unmarried girls that he married them at the time, he couldn't marry them, right? So he privately married them, where that time Gandharva Vivaha means no priest is allowed, no priest is there, none of the parents are there. It's only the boy and a girl, they exchange the garland, hopefully in the front of the deities, like that. It's called Gandharva Vivaha, which is quite different than what we are talking about. In those times, Swayamvara situation was there. In today's Kali Yuga, we don't have a Swayamvara situation.
Even Shakuntala.
But they go by the court marriage, right? The court. It's something like a little bit analogous,
Yes, so there is that Dushyant and Shakuntala, right? They also married at Gandharva.
Yeah, and then remember that in Dushyanta, he had promised, and then he forgot about it by the divine arrangement, and then finally the girl had to go there. That Shakuntala, was it Shakuntala? Yeah, right.
Yes, Shakuntala.
Shakuntala, yeah, Shakuntala. Her father was Kanva, and Shakuntala was the daughter of Vishwamitra, result of the union between Vishwamitra and Menaka, So, and Dushyanta, I'm sorry, Vishwamitra left her in the forest, and Kanvarshi show that, and he took care of that little baby girl, and that she grew up like that in his ashrama, That story is a little bit different, okay? I'm sorry, I think we are way past the time now. So I think, are you done now, Samantha Mataji?
Last 2 questions, Prabhuji.
Okay, last 2. Wrap it up, okay?
Yes. So this is about the role of the divine play. What does Rukmini's journey illustrate?
I'm sorry for the interruption, but some important elements that, in my view, they have not covered. I feel it's my duty to point out, okay?
Yes,
so please
Prabhuji.
forgive me for that.
No. You're most welcome. Anytime, Prabhuji. Yeah. So this.
That
Yes.
go ahead. That these also can be seen as a Krishna's divine play, Leela Mataji. Okay.
Yeah.
In the lens of that, we can see. Okay.
Yeah, that we as individuals, we play a part in his big cosmic drama. We play a small part. So this is what Rukmini's journey illustrates. And Lord's purpose, Lord's will. Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Last question. Where is the true strength lies? Very important part of this lesson. True strength, yes, anybody would
Lies
like?
in one's heart.
Following one's heart.
Yeah, following in one's heart. Lord's grace through Srimati Radharani's recommendation on behalf of the devotees.
Yeah. One can win the Lord's grace with the help of Srimati Radharani. Thank you, Prabhuji. I am done with the recap of this lesson.
Well done, Mataji. Well done. And well done, every one of you too.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Is Ashita Mataji is back on track?
Yes, Prabhu. I am ready.
Yeah, wonderful. Sorry, we took a little bit more time than
no problem.
Okay. But we have plenty of time, actually, I think.
Yes, I know. So, shall I begin, Prabhu?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Taking the blessings of all the devotees, especially Charuchandra Prabhu and His Grace.
No, who am I, Mataji? Who am I? You're doing wonderful by yourself.
No. I will try my best.
No, really, you are a very gifted speaker, you know. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji, without further ado.
Okay, so I will start. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girinjat kripatamaham vande Shri Guru Ninataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshitarni Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So here we are again back to the same scene where the Brahmana has read the letter to Sri Krishna, the first love letter of the universe, that is Rukmini Devi is writing a letter to Sri Krishna, and the Brahmana who has arrived at Dwarka. So he has now read the letter and now he's urging Sri Krishna, come on, you have to hurry up. And Sri Krishna sees that it's only one day more. That is, the day after tomorrow is the marriage of Rukmini Devi. So they only have a short time. See, the Brahmana messenger has reached Dwarka in the evening time. He has read the letter. So there's only a little bit time left from Gujarat all the way to Maharashtra. You can imagine how far the distance is, and they have to cover it very fast because the next day is the pre-marriage ceremony, and that is when Rukmini has said that before the marriage happens, there is going to be a time where she has to go to the temple of Ambika, and where that is when Krishna is supposed to kidnap her. So that is going to be the next day itself. So Krishna has to arrive there on time. So how is that possible? And then Krishna immediately he summons Daruka. Daruka is Krishna's charioteer, and Daruka now comes with a chariot. Now let us see in this slide. Here Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. Krishna kidnaps Rukmini. It's a beautiful picture of Krishna bringing Rukmini onto the chariot. Here, the first point here, we see that Krishna is swiftly arriving in Kundinapura, followed by Balaram with a mighty army. The capital of Vidarbha. Capital of Vidarbha is Kundinapura, where King Bhishmaka and King Damaghosh, the father of Shishupal, were about to perform the pre-marriage rituals. So this is going to happen one day before the wedding. So they're all getting ready. And Krishna has arrived now, early morning. So just within one evening, one night, he has traveled the journey all the way, from Dwarka to Kundinapura. So as we know, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he is saying that as soon as Krishna heard from the messenger Rukmini's beautiful letter, in which she was saying that, please come and kidnap me and take me away. So Krishna immediately saw that she has dedicated herself exclusively to me and her beauty is also flawless. So I'm going to bring her here. I'm going to thrash those worthless king in the battle. And I'm going to bring her just as one brings a blazing flame out of the firewood. This is very important, dear devotees. Here it says, Edhaso Agni Shikham Iva. So how am I going to bring Edhaso Agni Shikham Iva? I'm going to bring her just like when the fire is lying in the wood, it is dormant. Fire is dormant in the wood. And when it's lit, it bursts into flames. And what does it do? It consumes the wood itself. Right? By saying, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying, by saying Edhaso Agni Shikhamiva, Krishna is implying that Rukmini, who is like enveloped by the wicked members of the royal order, like Rukmi and all that, Shishupal and all. So she will burst forth like a fire and she will cause them all to be burnt up. So on the other hand, that will only be a stimulus for him to bring Rukmini back to Dwarka. So this is how Krishna is thinking. And he is immediately summoning, come on, Daruka, bring the swiftest of our horses. So Daruka is, remember, also when Krishna was driving the chariot in Kurukshetra, also Krishna has this wonderful chariot which has these 4 celebrated horses. They are Shaibya, and Shaibya was greenish like a parrot's wings, that was his color. And Sugriva was another horse with yellow golden color. And Megha Pushpa, as it suggests, the color of the clouds. And Balahaka had a whitish color. So these were the 4 horses which were very, very swift. And can you imagine, within one night, they traveled all the way. And early morning, they reached Kundinapura, where here, second point, we see while Rukmini was lamenting until she noted the Brahmana's joyful face and the serene movements indicating Krishna and Balaram's arrival, whereupon King Bhishmaka afforded them proper hospitality. So in the first 21 shlokas, you will see how Krishna is swiftly arriving and how the marriage rituals are happening. And the next 22 to 38 shlokas, you will see how Rukmini understands that Krishna Balaram have arrived, and Bhishmaka also very happy. He knows that Krishna has come means Krishna will definitely marry my daughter. So he's very happy and he very nicely, he goes and he offers them proper hospitality. Then the last shlokas, 39 to 57, where Rukmini is leaving her inner palace and visiting the temple of Ambika, so graphic, so beautifully has been described how from Krishna is going to kidnap her like a lion, removing his prey from the midst of jackals. So this beautiful setting we are going to see today. So now there are these themes where we are saying Krishna has swiftly arrived in Kundinapur, followed by Balaram with a mighty army, and the capital of Vidarbha, where King Bhishmaka, Damaghosh and all are preparing the pre-marriage rituals. So now what is happening? There's a tension between divine plans and human emotions here. It's very apparent because Krishna is emerging. He is not just as a strategic figure, but he's also a compassionate lover. So two sides. So his duality is embodying what? Both holy means divine, and human aspects. just like in the yesterday's class we saw. Like he was a ranchod. Here we see how he is showing his human-like compassion and becoming a compassionate lover, and infuses his portrayal with a unique warmth and humanity. So we're going to see that. And in the first theme, we see Krishna's stealth and strategy. So what is that? Krishna's profound understanding of situation with Rukmini and his unwavering determination to win Rukmini is depicted through metaphors, illustrating his divine awareness of the objects that stand in his way. So we just now saw how Krishna is very determined. He is saying that, yes, I will take her away like a fire. So when Rukmini is burning like fire, everything which is enveloping her, that all these unsavory characters will all be burnt. So his calm demeanor in the face of turmoil is not just a testament to his divine nature. So he's very calm. Krishna never shows agitations. He's very calm. So, but it is a source of awe for his ability to maintain composure at the most challenging situations. So can we not learn this from this divine appearance of Lord Krishna, which is so calm? So inspiring admiration for his character. So everybody is very full of admiration. Wow, Krishna is so calm. So that is why nobody could guess that Krishna had come to kidnap Rukmini, although he came in the morning and he was welcomed very nicely by Bhishmaka and all that. But we have come to see the wedding. Nobody had even a clue that Krishna would come and kidnap Rukmini because of his calmness, very calm. His demeanor was very, very calm. So we see how Rukmini was being dressed up and how the marriage preparations for marriage were taking place. The text for the next theme is that the text vividly portrays the opulence and grandeur of the wedding preparations, underscoring the cultural richness and beauty of rituals and attire in Vedic traditions. So the men and women, all were wearing spotless clothing, necklaces, scents, garlands, and they were covering their bodies with sandalwood paste. The main roads were cleared, sprinkled with water, and decorated with various kinds of banners, flagpoles. So the detailed description of Rukmini's adornment also is given with fresh cloth, symbolizing purity and auspiciousness, and a crucial element in the solemnity of marriage ceremonies. So this is also very important, where Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that Rukmini wore 2 pieces of new cloth. The fresh cloth from the loom, what do you call that? Yeah, it's called the loom only. I don't know in what is the other name for it. In Sanskrit, it's called Ahatam Shuka. Ahatam Shuka means from the looms. So if it was been weaving, from the weaving looms, the cloth was taken out, the fresh cloth, and these 2 pieces she is wearing. And Lord Brahma is also stating that in the Smriti Shastras, he says that only spotless clothing, that is new, fresh clothing of the loom should be worn during auspicious ceremonies. So we all know when we were taking initiations also, we were asked to wear everything new, isn't it? I think most of us remember this. We have to wear everything. Everything, whatever we wore on our body should be new. So this is new in the sense fresh from the looms, not washed or not worn before. So that is what Brahmaji had stated in the Smriti Shastras. So in this way, we see that the preparations were going on. Then the Brahmanas were also chanting the mantras according to the Vedic traditions. So, we see that Brahmanas had Rukmini put on the fresh cloth and they chanted the mantras for her protection. And Atharvavid means they were chanting from Atharva Veda, expert knower of the mantras of Atharva Veda. So this is the Brahmanas were Atharvavid. They understood Atharva Veda very nicely. And since Atharva Veda was very often, it deals with pacification of unfavorable planets. So, you know, they all expected something is going to happen now. So they all were thinking that everything should be favorable, and therefore they were chanting the mantras from Atharva Veda so that all the unfavorable planets will be satisfied. Okay, so then we go to the next slide. Okay, here the third point is the envy of the kings. The gathering of kings who conspire against Krishna reveals the political dynamics and rivalries prevalent among royal families. So, you know, royal families definitely, they always at each other's necks because everyone wants superiority. Their collective decision to confront Krishna, because everyone knows they're so envious of Krishna. Always Krishna wins. This time we'll all come together and we'll stand against Krishna. So they want to confront Krishna, underscores the length they would go to thwart his desires, showcasing the interplay of power, jealousy, and honor in royal circles. So this is very common in the Kshatriyas. This is a Kshatriya spirit. They all want to come together and defeat Krishna, who is indefeatable. So what is this episode? This episode is rich with themes of love, rivalry, and complexities of duty, highlighting what? The intricate relationship between characters are involved. So we will see that here. And then we saw how Balaram's concern. Now Balaramji in Sakhya Bhav, so he is like a friend. So in his friendship, his involvement adds another layer, revealing his protective nature towards Krishna because he's an elder brother, right? So he has to protect the Lord. So now, despite his omniscience, so Balaram and Krishna are not different. So Balaram is also omniscient. So he has seen, he knows everything, what's going to happen in the future. But despite that, his emotional ties are leading him what to do? To act out of concern for his brother's safety. So Krishna, I have to think of his safety. I'm so concerned. And therefore, what does it do? This underscores the theme of loyalty and brotherhood amidst the unfolding drama.
Let me interject one point here,
Yes,
okay?
yes.
Pardon me for that.
No problem.
So
Please.
now, if you remember, this is a very, very important point actually. Balramji is also a Supreme Personality of Godhead, okay? There's no difference between Krishna and Balramji in that, you know. Nevertheless, look at the situation. Remember that, if you remember, which we did Kaliya Damana story, all the Brajbasis were there, rushing there, and Balramji went there, and the, you know, Nanda Baba, Yashoda Maya, they all wanted to jump in the ocean, you know, jump in that lake when Krishna was in the coil, trapped, the Kaliya's trap. Then what did Balramji told them that, don't worry, Krishna, no one can do any harm to Krishna, right? He was so firm about that. Now here he himself is there. He knows what is going to happen. He's omniscient. Everything he knows about them. And yet that love, brotherly love, took precedence over that feeling too, you know. And remember, Krishna, when he heard from the Brahmana, the time was very short. He did not wait for the army and everything like that. He just rushed by himself. He called Daruka, and in the chariot himself, by himself, he rushed to the Kundinapura city, you know. But Balramji knew that there will be a fight. A huge war will take place there. So he took care and he took the army to make sure that Krishna will be protected that. And although Krishna doesn't need protection, you know. So that's a wonderful spirit here. Balramji, his brotherly feeling took over the divinity, you know. Thank you, Mataji.
Yes, thank you so much for it. Yes. So Balaramji, Krishna had rushed alone. So Balaramji had immediately saw that there could be danger for Krishna because he's going alone. And so Balaramji hurried with concern with an army. So Balaramji and Krishna arrived at the same time. Next morning, Balaramji also hurried very swiftly, and the army also was there. And Bhishmaka, he saw them and he was very happy, and he nicely welcomed the entire retinue of the army as well as Krishna Balaram. So we go to the next point, the philosophical significance of these shlokas. So in the first divine love and attachment, you see Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is emphasizing the nature of Krishna's love for Rukmini, which is characterized by both attachment and a transcendental detachment. So how is that? Krishna's internal feelings are profound, yet he maintains an outward composure. So it's kind of, he's showing that he's detached, but he's actually very attached, illustrating the ideal divine love that is not swayed by external circumstances. So whatever happens, the outcome will be the same. I will definitely kidnap Rukmini. So he's very calm. This contrasts with Rukmini's turmoil, highlighting the tension between worldly attachment and spiritual aspirations. So Rukmini is not like that. She is not calm. She is very much agitated because she is very much torn between the worldly attachments, and she wants, her spiritual aspirations are to go and be with her Lord Krishna. So then the next one, interplay of destiny and divine will. Now Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he notes how Krishna's awareness of the auspicious astrological conditions reflects the interplay between fate and divine intervention. So now he notes that Krishna is now coming, and there are auspicious astrological conditions, and this is going to help this episode. While Rukmini is bound by her family's decision and societal norms, Krishna actively intervenes to fulfill the deeper spiritual connection between them. So this demonstrates the notion, that the idea that while individuals may be subject to destiny, the divine grace can alter their path. So we as jivas, we are subject to destiny. Yes, we have our free will. Yes, we have our determination. We can do as much as we can, but that is from our side. But then we need the divine grace of the Lord, and only the divine grace can alter this destiny. Only Krishna can alter this destiny. Rukmini is completely depending on Krishna's intervention. So the next, the nature of conflict. There, the gathering of kings against Krishna represents the materialistic tendencies of envy and competition. So how the Kshatriyas, in theirs, there is always a spirit of competition. And here they are totally envious of Krishna. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is pointing out that these kings, they are motivated by their rivalry with Krishna. They really are so much envious. Embody the challenges that arise from ego and pride. So first of all, they are Kshatriyas, they are proud, they are very competitive, and also they have rivalry. So Sone pe suhaga, like that they say, right? So they are totally ready to fight. Their collective decision was to oppose Krishna, and that's what, and that serves what it serves to illustrate that the folly of material desires in the face of divine love and purpose. So when there is divine love, when there is divine purpose, so no chance that the material desires can win over. So we have to be very sure, very confident that if we are in the right on the dharma, and if we are right on the divine path, and we have a divine purpose, then material desires cannot do anything to us. So here the next point is about the rituals. What is happening? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is emphasizing the importance of dharma in the context of marriage rituals and societal roles. So the detailed descriptions for preparation of Rukmini's wedding underscores the significance of adhering to social and spiritual duties. It reflects how such rituals are not merely formalities, but are imbued with deep spiritual meaning and serve to align individuals with higher principles. So everything has to be set up in a very nice way. You see how when the wedding is taking place, everything should be there. What you should, everyone should be in a very happy, upbeat mood, and to bless the couple. So there'll be auspiciousness all around it. Then everything like beautifying the place, beautifying the city, adorning the houses, and even the individuals, they adorn themselves beautifully and set up the scene. Everything should be very nicely decorated. And on top of that, there are Vedic rituals. All are happening where all kinds of Vedas, Atharva Vedas, and all kinds of pacifying the astronomical stars, everything is happening so that a very nice setup is made and ambience is there where the wedding can take place in a very auspicious manner. So it's very, very important to do that. Then we come to friendship and loyalty. Now, Balaramji's concern for Krishna, despite his omniscience, highlights what? True friendship, nature of true friendship. So, Sakhya Bhav. So, Balaramji is in Sakhya Bhav. So, he is in a friendship mood. He loves Krishna in that mood. And therefore, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is pointing out that even divine beings experience emotions and concerns for their loved ones. Definitely, there has to be, like we saw about how Rukmini has Purvarag, she has attachment and towards Krishna even before seeing him. Similarly, they are all divine beings. She is Lakshmi Devi herself and Krishna and then Balaramji. They all have, definitely they have emotions and concerns for their loved ones, although they may be divine. So showing that spiritual relationships are grounded in deep affection and loyalty. So even spiritual relationships are just not very superficial and they are very, very deep. So they cannot be like material relationships. They cannot break so easily. This aspect of Balaram's character illustrates human-like qualities of divine figures, making them relatable and emphasizing the importance of supportive relationships. So Balaramji, he is illustrating human-like qualities, right? So we also can relate with it. Otherwise, if everything is divine, how can we relate with it? We cannot relate with it. So, for example, like we say, Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is lying in the Karna ocean. We can't relate with it because it is so divine. It is so divine. It's beyond our relatability. Whereas here, Balaramji is coming with an army, protect his younger brother. So relatable, isn't it? So relatable. So what is the conclusion? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purports to these verses illustrates the complexity of divine love, the influence of destiny and free will, the nature of conflict arising from envy, and the significance of dharma in human interactions, and the importance of emotional bonds between among friends, and all this is contributing to a deeper understanding of spiritual life and its intricacies. Prabhu, you would like to say anything? Shall I continue?
Yeah, please.
So there is a break time now.
No, we may continue.
It's loading. I don't know how long it will take.
No, it's okay. Continue.
Okay, I'll continue. Okay, the same shlokas are here. So here we are talking about the philosophical significance. So here, this narrative of Krishna and Rukmini and her impending marriage to Shishupal is rich with themes of love, rivalry, and complexity of duty, highlighting the intricate relation. This we saw. And the second point is, Charu Prabhu, you have written that we can all relate to the anxiety and agonizing pain Rukmini went through, whether Krishna will show up in time. In such agony, the negative thinking on part of even the divine when they descend as humans, both Rukmini and Balaram, is remarkable. So let me just step out and say something regarding this. Here, Rukmini's anxiety was seen. She was intensely full of anxiety. She was thinking, see, all negative things. So when we are always in anxiety, even we also think of negative things, right? Negative things are always looming in the mind. Somebody is late. Then immediately we think, what happened? Could have he fallen down somewhere, an accident or whatever. So those kind of things, negative feelings come. So Rukmini also was like that. Maybe Krishna did not want to come, but maybe he did want to come, but he was stopped suddenly on the path by the creator Brahma, who is not favorably inclined towards me. So she's thinking like that. So there's no need, but she's just thinking like that. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying this. He's saying, but why should Brahma be unfavorable? Perhaps no, not Brahma. Maybe it's Lord Shiva who has become angry because of my failure to properly worship him on some occasion. She's just thinking, all speculations. Maybe one day I didn't worship Mahadev properly, and that's why. Then suddenly she's saying, no, but he is Maheshwar. He is the greatest controller. So why should he be angry with such an insignificant, foolish girl like me? So she's thinking that. Then, okay, then who else? Okay, maybe it's Shiva's wife, Gauri Devi, who is now somehow displeased with me, even though I worship her every day. So she's thinking like this because Krishna, no message has come. The Brahmana has not come. She has not yet got any message whether Krishna and Balaram have arrived or not. So she's full of anxiety. She's full of these negative thoughts. Alas, alas, how have I offended her so that she has turned against me? But after all, she is Rudrani. She is wife of Rudra, and her very name means that one who makes everyone cry. So perhaps she and Shiva wants me to cry. See, look at how her anxieties are. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. But seeing that I am so miserable and that I am about to give my life, why don't they soften their hearts? There must be some fault in Gauri's heritage. She is suddenly thinking of something about Gauri. So that is Parvati. She is thinking that the reason maybe that Durga Devi is also called Girija. She's an adopted daughter of the mountain. So that is why Giri means mountain and Ja means born. So she is born out of the mountain, Girija. So how could her heart melt? She must be so stone-like, isn't it? So all kinds of things. And in the incarnation as Sati, she also gave up her body. So perhaps now she also wants me also to burn. So all these things are coming into Rukmini's mind just because all negative things are coming to her mind, agonizing her totally. Only negative things are coming because just like we as humans, we also think like that. Here also it is shown in this beautiful episode how even Rukmini, Balaramji, all are experiencing these human-like feelings. Then Krishna's duality, embodying both his divinity and human aspects, infuses his portrayal with a unique warmth and humanity. So now Krishna is also showing dual nature. He's exhibiting how very calm demeanor. So he's also exhibiting human aspects. So there's very warm and loving and all that. So in short, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's comments are very rich with themes of love, rivalry, complexity of duty, highlighting the intricate relationship between the characters. Did I go to the next one or not? Sorry. Yes. So now we go to the key thematic elements. So the narrative then shifts to the warrior's perceptions. Now, in stark contrast to the citizens' deep love and reverence, the warriors, blinded by their desires and misconceptions, see Rukmini not as a divine being, but as an embodiment of illusion Maya. This stark contrast serves as a profound commentary on the nature of perception and reality, illustrating how non-devotees can fail to recognize the divine essence in others. So Rukmini now, she has how is this, the warriors are looking at Rukmini because Rukmini has now gone to the temple of Ambika. So she has gone to the temple of Ambika. So very beautifully described how she goes to the temple of Ambika. She's been carried on a palanquin. So before that, she is like thinking of giving up her life, right? Because she has not heard about Krishna. So she is telling herself, oh, fickle mind, don't prepare to give up this body because the time of Krishna's coming has not yet passed. Wait. Therefore, before giving up this body, let me now see Krishna in my meditation. So she closes her eyes and she wants to meditate. She is telling, my dear mind, please don't prevent me from seeing Krishna. So let me see my Krishna and as I close my eyes. So the moment she closes her eyes, immediately she hears a voice of the Brahmana. He says, I am Sunanda the Brahmana. I have come now from the side of your beloved Sri Krishna. And then please cast your glance upon me. Please open your eyes. And the Brahmana is saying in a loud voice. Thus she's aroused from a meditation. And Rukmini is looking at the Brahmana. And then she's noticing how the Brahmana is so serene and his face is full of joy. Immediately, Rukmini's anxiety has disappeared. Rukmini now immediately, she was expert in reading omens, and that is Lakshana Abhijna. So she was very clever in reading omens. So she understood that the Brahmana was successful in his mission because his beautiful countenance and his blissful countenance and his twitching of her left eye. So she's also seeing the superstitious things happening in her body. Some indications are there from the Lord. So Rukmini then smiled very slightly, then Suchi Smita, and then she indicated that she had indicating her genuine joy, because until now she had been falsely smiling all this while, because she knew Krishna will come, but she didn't know whether he will arrive in time. So because of that, she was like smiling, but falsely smiling, hiding her inner sufferings. So immediately she is very happy. Then he announced to her that Krishna, Yadunandana had arrived. Don't worry, they have come here already. And he described how Krishna had promised to marry her, relating his words and telling her that I will bring Rukmini here to Dwarka. So he had already promised that. So please don't worry. So what can I give to this Brahmana? She was thinking, how can I satisfy him? How can I remunerate him? Thinking like this, Rukmini was looking here and there. She didn't know what to do. She didn't know what to give to this Brahmana. She had absolutely nothing comparable to give to this Brahmana. So what she did, she simply bowed down. Since she did not see any dear thing, any priya thing to express her indebtedness, even the offering of her own self. So, what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that, but at that very moment, the house of the Brahmana became filled with all sorts of treasures. This is not mentioned in the Krishna book, but it is mentioned by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that this was the response of Mahalakshmi to show her gratitude. Although she bowed down, his house immediately became full of all kinds of treasures. So now here Bhishmaka also is described as very generous. Bhishmaka is his father of Rukmini and his Mahamati, because he was so content in his heart. What he knew Krishna has come. Now he'll definitely marry his qualified daughter, and therefore he was elaborately worshipping Krishna. So he was very, very happy. What I couldn't do, it has already happened. He didn't know about the letter, but he was thinking that that's already happened by the divine intervention, divine grace. So the people, they were now looking at Krishna first time, because the people of Vidarbha have looking at Krishna. They're seeing him and his incomparable sweetness. They're drinking of Krishna's lotus face, Krishna's beautiful face. They're drinking in the sweetness, and this indicates how the unlimited quantity of honey was there in his lotus face. Because how wonderful it was that so many people, so many parties could drink from just one lotus at the same time. So beautiful, isn't it? Krishna's beautiful face had so much honey that everybody could drink. Okay, so there was one verse where all the citizens are glorifying. What are they doing? They're glorifying Krishna, they're glorifying Krishna, they're glorifying Rukmini. But all this has been converged to one sentence. So this one verse is combining statements of the different citizens of Vidarbha. So these 7 statements, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that they have combined into one. So one statement. So what is that? So the 7 statements are for him alone and no other. That means Rukmini is meant for him alone. As a second statement, as a wife, not as an enjoyable object. So Rukmini is not an enjoyable object for anyone else, but as a wife for Krishna. Someone else is saying Rukmini alone and no one else. So Krishna is entitled to marry Rukmini alone and no one else is entitled to marry her. This certainly must be and should be not be avoided. So this must happen. This marriage must happen and it should not be avoided. Then the 5th person is saying, he alone and no one else. Only Krishna alone and no one else should marry Rukmini. 6th person is saying, for Rukmini and no one else. That means Krishna is made up. He is born only for Rukmini and no one else. And then in the 7th one is saying, he is perfectly suited and samuchitaha, he says, and he is not at all unsuitable. So it is like so many negative things are also there, positive things are also. So there are 7 statements. They have negative qualifiers. That is no one else, no one else, no one else, like that. Na para, that no, na apara, that means nor anything, nor nothing else, like that. So in each statement, it has been added. This negative qualifier has been added. And some said that Rukmini and no one else deserves to be Krishna's wife. Others said that she should be Krishna's wife and nothing else, such as an object of enjoyment. Others said that Rukmini alone and no one else should be Krishna's wife. Like that. In this way, all these statements actually combine together, and the impossibility, so they say that it is a fault of contradiction. So many contradictions are there. Because of the impossibility of combining 7 statements in one is not correct. The authorities are saying that it is possible only when the one statement, it expresses the importance of the subject. So what is the importance of the subject? That Krishna should marry Rukmini alone and no one else. That is the importance of the subject. All the 7 people are saying the same thing, so they converge into one sentence. Very beautifully written by Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. So how Rukmini was carried? She was carried from her palace to the Ambika's temple by palanquin. So she was carried from the city palace to the temple complex, and then after that she was put down, and then she walked from the main door to the inside the temple. That is 15-foot distance. That is also measured and said, so very accurate. So she walked 15-foot distance into the temple, and then she was surrounded by guards. She was surrounded by all the Vandis and all. They were sounding mridangas, conch shells, and very nicely, auspiciously, they were resounding. So she went inside, and then she was also accompanied by elderly wives of the Brahmanas. So they were expert in Shastras. They knew of Rukmini's desire, what she wanted. She wanted to marry Krishna, and they had her to worship Durga along with Shiva. So they prompted Rukmini, okay, now you pray like this. You say, O Durga, just as you, the wife of Shiva, are always united with Shiva, please make me Krishna's wife, and please keep me always united with him. So having seen like this, they are telling her to pray. So in the same way, the citizens also are praying. They have seen Krishna, so they are also praying in the same way. So may whatever pious activities we may have done in the past, may all our pious activities now be given to Rukmini, and because of that, may Rukmini get married to Krishna. So this is all the citizens are saying. They are also very much inclined. Then the elderly wives of the Brahmanas, they are telling her, please chant some more, please chant, may Ganesha remove all the obstacles now facing me. May you consent that Krishna will become my husband. So all this she is saying. Then she hears Durga is answering, so be it. May Krishna be your husband. So she has got the answer. So how this beautiful ceremony is taking place, where she is worshipping with flower garlands and jewel necklaces, and they have written Lavana Apupa in this verse. That means savory cakes, like there's known as kachoris. So these are all offered to Durga, and then this was happening. Now this is what here Rukmini's beauty is being described. How when she comes to know that Krishna is already arrived, and now she is ready to ready to be kidnapped by Krishna. So she is now looking for only Krishna. Her eyes are only looking for Krishna. She has finished the worship. Durga has blessed her. Now she is now coming out, and now she wants to just meet with her beloved. See, where is Krishna? That is only eyes are looking for. So, and all the others are looking at her. And now we see here that when the other men, Shishupal and others, they are looking at her, they can only see her not as Lakshmi Devi, but as an illusion of Maya. They can never see her beauty. They can only see her, the Maya form of her. And So this is what they can see, and they are even totally bewildered. The heroes, they are very lusty. Their agitation was due to their perception of Maya and not to the perceiving Rukmini. So they were perceiving the Maya form. Non-devotees, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying non-devotees can never perceive the beautiful form of Rukmini because she is a manifestation of Krishna's internal energy. Thus, the heroic kings who had assembled in Vidarbha, they became agitated with lust upon seeing the Lord's illusory potency and expansion of Rukmini. So this explanation refutes any other contrary interpretations. So the warriors, they became so bewildered that they fainted on seeing Rukmini, who had offered her beauty to Krishna and no one else. So Rukmini's beauty, Rukmini's poise, all has been described in vivid detail. So not only capturing her physical attributes, but also her inner strength and her unwavering devotion to Krishna. And her shyness in presence of the other men contrasts with a singular focus on Krishna, emphasizing a divine beauty and power of her character. So Rukmini is walking very slowly, and because she was searching for Krishna, and upon seeing the other men are present, she felt very shy. But she would not show such bashfulness on seeing Krishna, but when she was only waiting for seeing her. So then she saw Achyuta, who is implied never left Chuta, her heart. She never left her heart. So she sees Krishna. So the narrative reaches its climax with Krishna's heroic act of rescuing Rukmini, which incites anger and humiliation among the defeated kings. So Krishna immediately took her by her hand and immediately took her onto the chariot. And he drove away just very calmly. There was nothing, no urgency there. She just took her on the chariot, and this was not expected by anybody, right? So everybody was just, they were just struck with wonder, and they were just looking, and they were very angry because they were defeated, they were humiliated, and their lamentation poignantly reflects the fragility of their pride and the ultimate triumph of divine love over world power, serving as a powerful testament to the potency of divine intervention. So they couldn't do anything because this was the divine intervention. Finally, there's an emotional component of the narratives illustrating the interplay of devotion, perception, and struggle for honor, all set against a backdrop of divine intervention. So what is the backdrop? Backdrop is Krishna has intervened. He's divinely intervened. And all this struggle for honor, and they are all their perceptions all are now lost, and the complexities of human relationships. So all these complexities are there because everybody is thinking only Shishupal should get married because they are envious of Krishna. So Krishna should not marry Rukmini. But this has been all divinely intervened by the Lord. So what is the philosophical significance here? This passage is intricately weaves together themes of devotion, beauty, power, dynamics in the context of Rukmini's story. So what is it showing? It is showing, it's vividly portraying the citizens' profound love and reverence for Rukmini, because they are willing to give up their lives and entire punya to Rukmini as she journeys from the temple, underscoring her divine nature and the auspicious events surrounding the worship of goddess Ambika. So the elderly wives of the Brahmanas, they serve as wise guides, invoking blessings for Rukmini's union with Krishna, showcasing a blend of spiritual practice and community support. So we saw that. Okay, now we come to the next point, where the first devotion and love, the prema. The text emphasizes the profound love and devotion of the citizens and Rukmini towards Krishna. This devotion transcends mere affection, illustrating how deep spiritual attachment can influence one's action and desires. It highlights the importance of love as a driving force in spiritual pursuits. We saw how the citizens of Kundinapura, as well as Rukmini Devi, how they have such profound love and devotion for the Lord. And it is highlighting that how the love is like a driving force. and then you can reach your spiritual goal only because you have that strong driving force called love. Then illusion, Maya, and reality. Now the warriors, what are they? They're unable to see the Rukmini's divine nature. They only can see they only can see the philosophical concept of Maya. They can only see Maya there. Then this suggests that the worldly perception can cloud one's ability to see the truth of existence, and divine qualities are often mistaken for mere physical appearances or limitations. So this is like avidya and vidya. So Maya has got these two concepts, avidya and vidya. Avidya is the one which is covering, which is clouding our ability to see the true things. And therefore we can only see which is not true, untrue things. Maya, which is not. So Maya is covering us with avidya. So we don't see anything divine or anything the truth of the existence around us. So what do we think? We mistakenly think we are this body, and we are very happy with that thinking that we are this body and this is physical appearance and all that, and we are limitation. We have limitations also. But when Maya also has another part, her attribute is vidya. So when avidya, when we try to become pure, and when avidya is removed, then what covers us? Vidya. So vidya covers us. When vidya covers, she's like light. She's showing everything. She's showing you, yes, this is Krishna. This is divine. These are the divine qualities. This is the divine existence. And then it is left to us whether we are trying to, again, the free will is there. Are we trying to go towards the divine or not? Then the third point is union and separation. Rukmini's. So Rukmini's, she is after all Lakshmi Devi, right? She's the eternal consort of Krishna. So her prayer to Goddess Ambika is expressing her desire to marry Krishna. So it is reflecting what? It is reflecting the philosophical idea that the soul's longing for union with divine. So we all want to go and be with the Lord. We want to serve the Lord. Similarly, Rukmini also wants to serve Krishna. And this is her prayer. So that is also the soul's prayer. This duality of separation and union is a vital theme in many spiritual traditions, highlighting the quest for oneness with the ultimate reality. So oneness with the ultimate reality means oneness in thought, oneness in desires. So our desires must be the same as the desires of the Lord, and we want to serve the Lord. So in this passage offers several profound philosophical insights that dwell into devotion, perception, and the nature of reality. So these insights, they are providing us a deeper understanding of the narrative and its underlying themes. So what is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur? He is defining the philosophical highlights. He is offering rich insights into the interplay between human emotions and divine experiences and underlying truths of existence, encouraging us, come on, go deeper contemplation on the nature of devotion, perception, and reality. So what is reality? What is your devotion? What is your nature of devotion? What is your perception? Please go deeply and contemplate.
So you see here, she is a divinity, right?
Yes,
correct?
Yes.
And yet, she's undergoing all kind of anxieties. Krishna will show up on my time or not? What will happen? And as you were talking about, it's very common. People think negatively in those times, those situations. So even the divinity undergoes like that. What to speak of us then,
Yes.
But the main point that we are forgetting here, she is the eternal consort of Krishna, right?
Yes.
So she, even on that regard, she should have complete faith that Krishna will come and will save her, right? Nonetheless, that anxiety part is actually contributing the love between the couple, right? The love dominates that, and that love has that kind of intensity of that anxiety is built in that with that. So that contrasting thing, how it get amalgamated commingled. That is what we need to see here, Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
So that is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is very pointedly showing us that actually, the contrast and similarity.
Yeah, the duality, the contrast and similarity. So the contrasting view of the citizens and the warriors. Now we see how the citizens, they are seeing Krishna as a divine. They can experience that, whereas the warriors, they cannot see. So we will see how this illustrates how the perception shapes experience. The citizens, they are seeing Rukmini's beauty as a reflection of divine grace. They are seeing how she is so beautiful, and Krishna is divine, Rukmini is divine. But while the warriors, they are trapped in lust and illusion. So this stark contrast raises profound questions about the nature of reality and how subjective experiences can lead to vastly different interpretations of the same truth. So the truth is the same, Krishna is the same, Rukmini is the same, she is his consort, she is the internal energy, and all the Kundinapura Vasis, they are seeing her as his consort, eternal consort. Whereas these warriors, the Shishupal and Pati, they are trapped in lust and illusion and they cannot see it. So this stark difference is there between the two, although they're saying the same truth. Then the pivotal role of divine intervention. So it is seen in Krishna's actions to his rescue Rukmini. So this is divine intervention. Krishna is intervening. So this divine intervention is a recurring theme in the narrative. All the time, this is at the back of the narrative, that Krishna will come, Krishna will come, Krishna will kidnap Rukmini, suggesting that spiritual outcomes often align with a higher cosmic order. So this is a spiritual outcome, right? Krishna is being reunited with his consort is a spiritual outcome. So this is also aligning with the higher cosmic order, where the divine will orchestrates everything, the events for the ultimate benefit of the devotees. So the whole drama is again to give joy to even the devotees. So the devotees are very happy when they see the Lord reuniting with his consort. Now, the embodiment of divine qualities. Rukmini's portrayal as a manifestation of Krishna's internal energy, does it do? It highlights the idea that divine qualities can be embodied in individuals also. So we are also a spark of the fire. We are also a spark of Krishna, part and parcel. So we can also embody divine qualities. So this raises discussions about the nature of divinity being present in the material world and how such embodiments can inspire devotion and spiritual awakening. So when we look around us, we see devotees, we see how pure devotees also are embodying all kinds of divine qualities. And we are also now getting so inspired by this kind of devotion, and we can also now expect to be spiritually awakened. The nature of honor and humility. The defeated kings, what happens to them? They're lamenting now. What does it reveal? Reveals that a philosophical reflection on honor and humility. So think, if you are unnaturally promoting yourself to the heights, so definitely you will have a fall down. So their pride and status are challenged by a simple act of Krishna. They consider him what? A cowherd. So they're thinking, oh, a cowherd has defeated me. Now imagine how much humiliation. So they're prompting a reevaluation of what true honor means in the face of divine love and intervention. So now they are thinking that we have been defeated by a cowherd man, cowherd boy. So what kind of humiliation? We are all Kshatriyas at the highest order. We have even from Magadha, from all these provinces, we have come here and we have been defeated like this by a cowherd boy. So now this shows how the divine love and intervention can defeat even anyone in these great warriors. Okay, so we'll end here. I hope you all have enjoyed this wonderful experience of Krishna kidnapping Rukmini.
Hare
Thank you.
Krishna Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam.
Sorry, Prabhuji, go ahead.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So Mataji, before we take up the discussion, I want you to answer your question you raised. Why there are 4 chapters, but then why there are 5 lessons? You know, there are 2 or 3 reasons for that. As you know, originally we had planned for 120 lessons, and then now we raised to 140. 20 more additions were took place, right?
Yes.
Second reason, not all chapters are of the same length, same magnitude.
Yes.
So what I count, why I try to normalize lessons. Each lesson should be of equal strength. So chapters are not of equal strength. Some chapters, so in terms of number of pages, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur devotes in his book, on that basis I normalize.
Yes.
So some chapters, they go like 25, 26 pages, and some chapters are like just 10, 12 pages like that, you know.
Yes.
In fact, the 2 extremes are, one chapter was only 9 pages, the other chapter was 93 pages. So how can we treat
yes.
chapters equally, right? So that is how I, exactly work out what should the average strength of each lesson should be there. So some lessons may have more than 1 chapter, and some lessons, 1 chapter could be also divided into several lessons, in 3 lessons, you know. So that is the reason. That's my answer. You know?
I understood, Prabhu. But today's class was supposed to.
I gave you some rough idea. So certain chapter, certain lesson, if you cannot do it in a single day, you can always continue the next day or next week, you know.
Okay.
So I give you enough time, and I very judiciously I prepare my PowerPoints and how I divide, so not to make too many slides. At the same time, the important points are all taken care of. That so it's a very fine balance. I do that, you know.
Yes.
But now I've created in such a way that very comfortably you can deal all the important points, and still you have plenty of time to discuss. And the recap session, now we increase the time. So all these deeper philosophical points that can be clearly understood and explained to them by the instructors. And this recap session, now today onwards, every one of you, there are 2 or 3 ways you can do that, okay? And the combination of that. So far, what I saw, some very easy, straightforward answers are there. Slide is there. Sanjeev Prabhu does a very wonderful thing that all of you should really, emulate that. What he does here, he highlights the answers right in that page or that particular slide. You know? So immediately you can see the person who is trying to answer that question, okay? But try your best. Don't just blindly read my wordings. Try to explain in your own words, okay? It's very straightforward, answers are there. But when you put it in your own words, it'll carry a much bigger impact that will reflect the understanding on your part, okay? And now, today onwards, the person who is doing recapping should also endeavor certain questions, not straightway answers that are available, that requires some thinking on the part of the participants, right? The main subject information is there, but ask a question in a way, come up with a question in a way that requires others to think a little bit, okay? That will carry a deeper understanding of the significance of certain elements. Do you understand, everybody, what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Understood.
So it will force both the person who is conducting the recapping he or she will have to think on our own feet also to come up with that kind of question. And the participants will also have to think a little bit. Okay. So tomorrow's lesson, you will see, I put through, just to give an example, some instructive questions. So that will give an idea. The instructive questions, answers are not directly there. Okay. And yet, if you think a little bit, you will get the answer. And a more general aspect of it from the application point of view. All right. I think I'll stop here and let's see. But this whole Dwarka Leela, we are going to do, at least it's my desire to do it a little bit more on a intellectual side. Okay. See, as we see when we do undergraduate study, the professor is giving everything to you, right? But when you get into graduate school, professor is not doing anything. He'll supply the material, but the student has to do a lot more self-learning. He will guide. Professor's job is just to guide, but this graduate student does most of the learning themselves. So that's why the question answer, the exam is not like that. Exam is always write essays. How much you understood. So when you write an essay, it will tell you, it will force you to use your intellect and grasp the material. Okay. And then when you put it in writing, prepare an essay, it will reflect you how much you absorbed it. So here also, now we are not doing any undergraduate. All the Leelas are very familiar to every one of you. But within the backdrop of the Leela, what needs to be take-home instructions are there. That is what I would like you to get into it. So my job and the person who's doing recapping, the instructors, they will guide you, they'll give you something, but not ready-made, they're going to give you things. Okay, my PowerPoints are like study guides. I just told Archana Mataji, use it as like a study guide. Okay, I'm not going to spoon feed you anymore now.
Okay, Prabhu.
All the Dwarka Leela PowerPoints I'm going to prepare in a way, it will force you to think on your feet and transmit that as an instructor, recapping the intermediate people, and the lower rung is the general participants. So you are going to give the material in a way that you are going to make them think on their feet. Am I asking too much? I hope not. So, Sharad Prabhuji, Sanjeev Prabhuji, please voice your concern, okay? I don't want to scare you guys, okay? I don't want to scare you guys. I cannot hear you, Prabhu. I cannot hear you.
Yeah, Prabhu, no concern from my side. It's absolutely okay. Very good. So it's like
So
it will force us to.
We are making progress now.
Yeah, it will force us to go deeper and be more independent rather than fully following. So that's a very right approach. No issues from my side. All supportive.
Thank you. Thank you. Sharad Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I totally agree with you. We should be all very, very independent also. You are just guiding us, and
our job is to guide them, Guidance is there always.
Yes.
But guiding in such a way that you're making the general participants to think on their feet,
Yes.
Samata Mataji, Prasad Prabhuji, please voice your concerns.
Absolutely agree. I think
we'll do it. We'll do it in a stepwise way. Suddenly we are not going to make them like, but gradually my goal is there that everybody should be able to think. Okay. We all
yes,
know.
Prabhu. There will be a great learning as well, Prabhu, for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
In general aspect, we all know what are the Leelas are there. All the Leelas are very familiar. But we need to now understand the significance of those Leelas. Okay. Hare Krishna. Now continue the discussion. We have barely 15 minutes. But this is the way I visualize I want to conduct this Dwarka Lila in that way. Okay.
Prasad Prabhuji, your recap is next coming weekend, day 2.
Okay, Prabhu. Okay, Prabhu.
And day 1 is Radha Vinod Prabhuji.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, Archana Mataji, wonderful session, Mataji. So you have a lot of enthusiasm to explain. Yeah.
Thank you,
That
Prabhu.
itself, like it is there in the voice. Yeah. It's really, the narrative is just like it is happening in front of our eyes. Yeah. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much. So one question, Mataji, it is
Yes.
like not a question. Okay. So the distance between the exact main temple and where she's going to take the palanquin is 150 feet, 150 meters or 100 meters, you said.
No, no. She was brought from the palace to the entrance of the temple by palanquin. Okay. That distance is not mentioned. But from the entrance of the temple, she entered inside the temple, inside the Garbhagudi. Like she goes inside now. So that is 15 feet.
15 feet, that's all. Okay, okay.
Yes, she has been brought until there by the palanquin. Then she gets down from the palanquin and walks for 15 feet. 15 feet
So
is just, you know,
in theoretically, again that 15 feet is there for us to take the palanquin again, correct?
no, she means
walks
like
in there.
entrance of the temple, she is dropped off, and from entrance to the, because you cannot carry the palanquin, it's against the rules to carry the palanquin inside the temple. No, temple premises you cannot carry the palanquin.
And you
So
can
she
in front
has
of the
to be,
in front of the deities, you don't do that.
yeah, the deities you don't do that. So she has to be dropped off at the entrance of the temple. So from the entrance to the inside is 15 feet.
15
And
feet.
there inside the Gopa, there is certain degree of privacy is given between the devotee, prayers to the deities, you know.
Okay, okay, Mataji. But my question back is, okay, again, while she's returning back, okay, again, she just needs to cross only 15 feet. Within that 15 feet, Krishna has to come and take her, correct?
Yes, yes.
That's
Krishna
the
is in
point.
the chariot. Krishna is in the chariot, ready to pick her up.
Yes. Everybody is standing at the entrance of the temple to watch her. Yeah.
So everybody watching and then still he snatched off.
Yes.
Entire army is there, but still he came. Okay, and they were just watching.
They were shocked because they didn't expect Krishna to come and
Yeah.
kidnap her. They didn't expect it because
Just everything
everything was
fraction of
arranged.
seconds.
Shishupal's wedding was arranged. Damagosh, that is Shishupal's father-in-law, Damagosh had come and he had done his pre-marriage rituals for his son, and here Bhishmaka had done for Rukmini, and every pre-marriage rituals all had, you know what, in ours we have all this haldi, mehendi, and all that we have, right, before the wedding. So all that things were done for Shishupal and for her, for Rukmini. That means they were surely going to get married. Everything was, till the end, everything was done. Only the marriage has to take place. So before that, Krishna comes and intervenes.
Everything happens in just like within a
So
second.
everybody is very happy. Everybody is very casual.
Not alert at all.
They are
No one is
thinking that
alert.
Shishupal only is marrying Rukmini, so there's no need to worry.
No need to worry. Everything is casual. No one is alert. Yeah.
Yeah,
That is kind of situation.
How many armies were there? Not only
yeah.
Balaji
Shady army was there, Shishupal's army, Magadha army was there, then Anartha was there. So many other princes all had come.
in addition, Krishna's army and Balrama's army, they were also there. That means there must have been no place in between two people there. But still then, but still then, Krishna was able to kidnap her. How it happened, it will come in the next lesson. That is also very, very interesting.
Okay, Prabhuji. Okay, Mataji. Thank
I
you.
send you my PowerPoints for tomorrow, next week's class. Okay, everyone.
Yes, yes.
Study it. Any other questions, comments?
if there are no questions, then I have got some questions. But before that, another very interesting thing, when Krishna came in the chariot which was driven by Daruka, it had got 4 horses. The names are given in the verse 5, but their colors, that is very, very interesting. The 4 horses, the Saibya was green like a parrot's wings, like it is the parrot green. Then
mentioned the class, Prabhu.
and Sugriva, yellow gold, and Megapuspa, the color of a cloud, and Ballaka was whitish. Now we don't find all these colors in the present day, but in Krishna's Leela, yes, they are available. And
remember, these are coming from spiritual world. Daruka and the chariot, everybody is coming all the way from spiritual world. So it's difficult to make comparison what we see here and there.
Yes, say the yajnas which the kings used to do, like the say Rajasuya yajna. Rajasuya yajna, a horse has to move around for 1 year. The qualities given for the horse, they are also given in the Shastras, like the horse, his ears are to be black. One of the ears have to be black. Like this, such descriptions are given in the Shastras. They are very, very interesting to know. So my question for the devotees, now we know that demigod worship is not required because Rukmini, she wanted Krishna, and she also knew that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, that everybody knew. But still then, she had to go for worship of Durga. Like the gopis, they also did Katyayani Puja. But there we learned that Katyayani is not the same Durga. Katyayani is not Mahamaya. She is the Yogamaya potency of the Lord. Now here the question is, Rukmini is going for worship of Durga. Is it correct? That is my question. And there are so many rituals in, say, marriage ceremonies, other ceremonies, as we find in the society. We have to follow them whether we like or not. Are they correct? What is your understanding? This is the question for the devotees. No answers.
Very tricky question, Prabhu. Your questions are not simple.
No, it's not that tricky question. It's a very interesting question, very straightforward question. What was when we do this, demigod worshippers? What generally the worshipper ask?
Prabhuji, may I try?
And here,
go ahead, Mataji. First, you go ahead, Mataji.
Here,
thank you, Prabhu.
What Rukmini and the gopis were asking for, there's a difference. Instead of asking on a material terms, material benefits, what they are here asking is actually gopis were asking to have Krishna as their husband, right? And
Correct,
here
Prabhuji.
Rukmini is also asking
Krishna as
Krishna as her husband. Whereas demigod worshippers, what they ask, let me have.
So when we go for a Krishna temple, Prabhu, when we go for a Shiva temple, okay, what is that I do generally is everybody stand in a queue and then they tell something to Nandi. Okay, you tell your desire to Nandi. Okay, so and then Nandi will pass the desire to Lord Shiva. So these days, at least from last 1.5 years, what is that I am doing is to Nandi is please grant Krishna Prema. Okay, please. Okay, please pray. I'm just praying, grant Krishna Prema. That is what I'm doing for. So in the same way,
devotee and the non-devotees are worshipping the demigods,
Yeah. So I am asking Krishna, okay,
Very good. Very good. You're
chanting,
doing
that I
wonderful.
do some chanting better. Okay.
Yeah,
So
you
in that
learned it
way, I
exactly.
think, yeah, in that way, I'm asking demigods to connect to Krishna. So I think that is
Exactly.
acceptable, and that is what we should ask demigods, in my opinion. And that is what
Exactly.
exactly Rukmini did. Yeah.
Very good. That's the difference. That's what Sharad Prabhuji is.
Yes,
I believe that's what he's intending to
yes,
show.
yes, that is actually the answer. But in the material world, we find like we hold the marriage ceremony is like here in our place and must be there in all other places. One day before the marriage, there is a ceremony in which you have to go to the Devi temple. Now, whether we are Vaishnavas and we should go to the Devi temple or go to the Krishna temple, this question may arise in one's mind, but we have to be guided by what is given in the Vedas also. I am not remembering that verse in the Veda, but it says that the local practices, they also should be practiced. There is nothing wrong in that. Because ultimately all the demigods, they are the representatives of the Supreme Lord. And ultimately, if you are a Vaishnava, everything is reaching the Supreme Lord. And here, Charuprabhuji has given the answer to the question. If our intention is to reach the Supreme Lord, and that's what we are thinking, that's why we are approaching the demigods like Shiva or Durga, that is perfectly all right. There is nothing wrong in that. But if we want material things, if we have material desires, then that is what is troublesome. It should not be there. Then other question is, the time is there. Yes, I have got another question. Like, should we have desires? Like, all the problems we have are because of our desires. We have been taking birth in this material world since time immemorial. There must have been trillions and trillions of Brahmas we must have seen. Why that is happening? That is happening because of the desires. Now, here yesterday, we learned that we should have strong desire for the divine. That is, we should have a burning sensation in the heart, and that should burn us to reach the Supreme Lord. That is perfectly all right. But uniting with the Lord, anything connected with the Lord, that is perfectly all right. But if we want to say, I want a home, I want a vehicle, I want this thing, I want that thing, which are impermanent, those desires are not correct to, we should not have those desires. Because as we know, we may get them also. Whatever desire we make, the Lord makes sure that we get it. And if we are not eligible at the present time, he will give it in the next birth. But that also we know that is also impermanent. That is not going to lead us to anywhere. But if our desire is for Krishna, for the Supreme Lord, or for to stay in his Dhama, or anything connected with the Lord, that is what is permanent. That we should understand very clearly. And that's what Rukmini did. That's what the gopis did, and that's why we remember them till now, and we will remember them forever, because their deeds are written in by Srila Vyasadeva in the Srimad Bhagavatam and the other Puranas. And this is what is the difference between material desires and spiritual desires. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Now let me extend Sharad Prabhuji's question a step ahead of it. Okay.
Yes.
A higher step than that. If you remember in Mahabharata, in the Vana Parva, Aranya Parva, Pandavas are in exile, right, in the forest.
Yes.
And there, the two goals were there. Actually, one goal for Yudhishthira Maharaj to get educated in so many aspects. So many Rishi Munis were coming there and giving advice, and all these things were there. But at the same time, the Pandavas are also preparing for the inevitable war. Okay, so Arjuna was sent to get divine weapons, right? in the heaven and everywhere. And he was sent none by other, even by Krishna himself told him to go and please Mahadeva, Lord Shiva, and get this Pasupataksha weapon from him, right? So here question might arise, why did Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord, capable of providing him himself, why did he send Arjuna to Lord Shiva? A step little higher, what Sharat Prabhuji asking, but it is basically the same direction, passing you. The Lord himself asked Arjuna to go and please Lord Shiva and get this Pasupataksha weapon. Anybody?
He wants to make humble Arjuna, actually. That like you should, even though I am a supreme, okay, you should respect all my representatives also.
Very good, very good. And same way, Lord Krishna also gave Lord Shiva to participate.
Participate, yes. Help Pandavas. And Dharma. Established that.
So Lord Shiva is also participating in that exchange of that divine love, So you have to understand from all these different perspectives. So very good, Sharat Prabhuji asking very intelligent question that we all have to think, because people might someday ask you devotees to explain that you are saying demigod worship should not be there, but here Krishna sending Pandavas were doing that, gopis were doing that. Why so? So you should be able to answer that question in that regard, okay?
Prabhuji, one more answer. This is a funny one. Okay. No, at that time, Krishna had not spoken Bhagavad Gita, no? So that's why. Just a joke. Yeah. But yeah. But there's one more similar situation.
And even when Lord Ramachandra goes on the ocean front before he crosses for Lanka, he performs Shiva Puja, right? On the beach front. The Lord himself worships. Yeah. So that's a very wonderful relationship between Krishna and Lord Shiva. They have paraspar. They each worship each other.
Yes.
I know there's time over, but there is one more similar, like Chaitanya Leela. We see that Lord Chaitanya, he worshipped the Jagannath Baldev Subhadra in the main temple, but he does not interfere with the system over there. Like as per, like we see Haridas Thakur is such a wonderful devotee, but because their rule is that no non-Hindu is allowed or something like that. So the Lord does not interfere with the system. This is to your response earlier, Prabhu, that should we follow our Vedic system or not? I think we should, just to set that example. But at our heart, our goal should be clear to obtain Krishna prema. And as you rightly said, Prabhu, Krishna, he gives opportunity to his key devotees. So that's why he sets that example.
No, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example is a little bit different. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never claimed that he is Krishna. Although he is Krishna, but he never claimed. He came in the devotee form to teach us how to serve the Lord, So that's a little different, Okay, I think that's time is up now.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought I will ask one last question.
Okay, why don't you ask? Yes.
So I just, it's a bit funny question, but I just wanted to ask everyone if anybody knows that the mountain which Krishna and Balaram climbed was called Pravarshana mountain, which was always being showered by rain. That's why it was Pravarshana, always showered by rain, always covered with clouds at the top. Then how is it possible that Jarasandha could lit fire to the mountain because always raining? How can, if the rain is falling, how can you light a fire? Even if it will light also, it again will be extinguished. Just a question.
Wonderful. Good question.
Just an observation.
Always does not mean 24 hours and every time. Secondly, there are other means to set fire, like you see all those forests catching fire in the US and the other countries, much less in India. Because what the soldiers they would have done, they would have put the other things. I'm very sure kerosene or petrol was not there at that time. They would have put ghee or some other things, flammable things in that and tried to set fire in that. That would have happened. We can understand this way.
Yes, Prabhu, that is inflammable, something inflammable they would have put. But my question was that Pravashana is like means always raining, always covered by clouds, always raining. So when we say Taraya Karunya Ghana Ghanatvam, so even our Samsara Davanala, Davanala also is getting been extinguished by the clouds and rain. So Pravashana mountain is constantly being showered by rain. Okay, we can say that maybe that time there was no showers.
But at the same time, we should remember that these are all leelas. Anything can happen. Krishna.
Yeah. I was just just an observation only. I'm not contesting or anything like that.
And okay, can we ever think of that mountain 88 miles long and high? There is no mountain which is 88 miles high today in the today's world. But
even Gordon that time was much
yes.
higher was there than today what it is.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's time to wrap up now. I think let's do a Shiva prayer. So we can continue the discussion tomorrow, okay? Next week, I mean.
Hiranyakashipurvakshaha Shilatankanakalaye Hito Narsimho Parato Narsimho Yato Yamitato Narsimho Vahi Narsimha Hridaye Narsimha Narasimhamadim Sharanam Prapade Tavakar Kamalavarena Adbhuta Shringa Dalita Hiranyakashipo Tanubringa Keshavadrita Nararirupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Nishingadev Jaya Nishingadev Jaya Nishingadev Jaya Nishingadev Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Bhakti Vigna Vinashak Lakshmi Nrsimha Bhagavan ki Jai Shri Prahlad Nrsimha Bhagavan ki Jai Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you, Prabhu. Actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also visited Sri Sailam, which is a Shiva temple on the same hills where Ahobilam and also Tirupati is located. So first he went to Sri Sailam, and there is Jyotirling. One of the Jyotirling is there, and Shakti Peeth is there in the same temple. He visited there, and then he visited Ahobilam, then he visited Tirupati.
Thank you everyone. Thank you so much. Archana Mataji, wonderful class. You did that.
Thank you, Prabhu. All your mercy, Prabhu.
All the parties of my mercy. all the devotees versus to and all the participants too doing wonderful job. So we meet next week. My PowerPoint for next week has all been sent to you. So all glory to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I wish you all the wonderful, blissful week ahead of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sharad Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, everyone.
Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Wonderful class.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sanjeev Prabhuji, Prasad Prabhuji, everybody. Benji, namaste.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna,
Srila
Bhaiji.
Prabhuji, Char
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna, Bhaiji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Bol.
Your PPT is very nice.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Hare
you.
Bol.
Thank you, Bhaiji.
Hare Bol.
Thank you.